There's a silent epidemic happening in bedrooms all around the world. Men who can't get hard with a real partner. Women who can't feel anything at all. Couples lying side by side, bodies numb, chasing something that looks like sex but feels like nothing or almost nothing. And nobody wants to talk about it. We've been told a lie, another lie, a big one, that porn is liberation. No, it isn't. That it doesn't affect us, that it doesn't affect the viewers. But the science says otherwise. The people in my practice say otherwise. I myself felt otherwise. What if I told you that the very thing you use to explore your sexuality is actually stealing your ability to feel pleasure at all? Not someday in the future, right now. In this episode, we are going there, straight to the point. No shame, no judgment, just the truth. Let's talk about how porn is killing our erotic pleasure and what it takes to bring it back to life. Welcome to Brazilian Pleasure Diaries. I'm Paula Aparecida, your somatic sex coach and therapist, here to guide you in bringing back orgasm, vitality, and the raw, pulsating rhythm of life with a Brazilian swag. My mission to help you cut through the noise, reconnect with your body's ancient wisdom, and reclaim your pleasure as a radical act of self-empowerment. Because believe me, if I can do it, you can do it too. Before we dive deep, please do me a favor, meu amorzinho. If you're ready to explore the revolutionary power of pleasure, even its shadows, please hit that subscribe button and share this episode with a friend. You know why? Because this theme, porn, is a taboo. And for sure, you're going to have people around you who are addicted to it, who have been suffering because of it, and they are not going to tell you. But you may help them. And leave a comment telling me what's your take on porn and the lack of erotic pleasure. Your engagement moves this podcast and it helps me bringing more taboo things to talk about with you. Today is the second part of a journey that is deeply personal, yet profoundly political. This is the second part of our special mini-series on pornography. In episode 6, Porn, My Feminist Secret Shame, I shared my own raw and vulnerable story of navigating porn addiction as a feminist and how it connected to my childhood abusive trauma. If you haven't heard it yet, I highly recommend you to go back and listen. It sets the stage for what we are discussing today. In this episode, porn, killing our erotic pleasure, we're expanding that conversation to understand how this industry impacts all of us, men and women. And in our next episode, porn, Reclaiming Your Real Pleasure, will dive into practical ways to break free and reclaim our vibrant, embodied sexuality. So let's continue this crucial conversation. In the 21st century, especially after the pandemic, our world has become increasingly digitalized. This shift has made it incredibly easy to seek connection and affection through a screen, through a moving image with sound. It's a quick fix, a readily available distraction, a way to fill a perceived void within us. But this easy comes at a profound cost. It's not just about what we consume. It's about how that consumption rewires our brains and bodies subtly, insidiously, eroding our capacity for real embodied pleasure. We are trading authentic connection for simulated intimacy, and the consequences are far-reaching. Dr. Patrick Carnes, a pioneer in the studies of sexual addiction, states, sexual addiction is a progressive intimacy disorder characterized by compulsive sexual thoughts and acts that provide a temporary sense of escape or relief, but ultimately leads to negative consequences and a profound sense of isolation. This cycle, fueled by easily accessible porn, creates a profound disconnect from healthy relationships and genuine emotional intimacy. We become accustomed to a simulated reality, making it harder to engage with the complexities and nuances of real life sexual encounters. And it happens with all of us all the time because after the pandemic, we got afraid of being together with other people. It seems like touch, even like a friend's touch, it's scary. I know that. I was that person who, before the pandemic, used to hug everybody for at least 1 minute because I knew I got a lot of good hormones like oxytocin, endorphins. But after the pandemic, it got strange. It felt like I was, I don't know, harassing the other person. I felt the bodies closed. I felt the bodies more tighten, wanting space, afraid of my touch. I could feel that. I felt people's bodies stranger to me. And this is me. I'm a therapist. I'm a coach. What about everybody over there? Okay, but I have this perception. I can change it. I can notice the difficulty on touching people, and then I breathe deeply, Paula. You're going to touch the other person. If you feel like you should ask first, if it's not your close friend or relative, ask first. And I can tell you that all the time people said, yes, please hug me. I need a huge hug. And nowadays I still have the trophy best hugger ever. This is the 7th episode. Yeah. And as I get used to have this podcast in English, you're going to see more of myself. And I like making fun of life. This is also a Brazilian trait. We make fun of tragedies. That's how we survive colonization, exploitation, violence. Yeah. But I'm going to try to be myself more here and make these jokes. Please don't be mad at me. It's the way I cope with life. Oof. And I'm telling you this is the problem. I'm bringing you awareness. And you don't need to be scared and to be, oh my God, we're so fucking screwed. The world is gonna end. The first step to change something, to revolutionize the reality, is to understand how it works. Awareness. Let's open our eyes together. I'm here to do this. And if you need some help, I'm gonna help you. I'm here also to show you how to overcome this as I did. You can do it too. There's something I've been perceiving about porn. This pervasive influence of porn is directly linked to the castration of our erotic power. It diminishes our capacity to feel energy deeply within our bodies, to experience profound pleasure, peace, love, and to read altered states of consciousness. And what is an altered state of consciousness? It's that sacred connection with ourselves, with another person, or with the divine. Porn trivializes sex, making it seem insignificant, something that doesn't deserve our full attention, something we can get online in a click. But sexuality, meu amor, my love. In Portuguese, we have this. I say meu amor. You could translate it as my love or my darling. Yeah. But I like to say meu amor because we lack love so much. And I call you meu amor. As I was saying, sexuality is the very expression of our life force. It's how human life and the life of countless other species on this planet comes into being. It's the most powerful capacity we possess. Yet, the porn industry transforms this vital expression of power into a billion-dollar industry that profits from our disconnection and disempowerment. We are being castrated. Yeah, it's a strong word, I know, but it's the real word that translates what is really happening with us all the time. If you cannot achieve your full capacity of orgasm pleasure because you've been trained to have quick releases, quick fix, a very small release of tension. Come on, you're being castrated. This castration of potency manifests in very real ways. The quick, intense, and often unrealistic stimuli of porn can recalibrate our nervous systems, making real life intimacy feel dull or insufficient. It's like constantly eating high processed, sugary foods. And of course, eventually, natural, wholesome foods lose their appeal, lose their taste. Our bodies and brains become accustomed to a certain level of artificial stimulation, and anything less feel unsatisfying. This isn't just about losing interest in sex. It's about losing the ability to truly feel and connect with the subtle, profound energies of authentic eroticism. You are an erotic being. You don't need anything else beside of you, your body, deeply connected and in presence with your mind and your emotions. We are a fucking powerhouse. And porn takes this energy, steals this energy out of you to make you become an addicted and profit out of our misery. The impact of porn extends far beyond our individual experiences. It's eroding the very fabric of intimacy in our societies. And I'm going to bring you not my word, the words of Gail Dines. She's a leading sociologist and an anti-pornography activist. These are her words. Pornography is not about sex. It's about power, domination, and the degradation of women. It teaches men to see women as objects for their gratification and teaches women to internalize this objectification, often leading to shame and a disconnect from their own authentic desires. Powerful, isn't it? This objectification poisons our ability to form genuine empathic connections. It fosters a transactional view of sex where the other person is a means to an end rather than a co-creator of shared pleasure and intimacy. It steals your protagonism. You don't create anything. You just pay with money or with your attention to get a quick fix release of tension. And this is particularly evident in the alarming rise of porn-induced erectile dysfunction, or PIED, where men struggle to achieve or maintain an erection with a real partner due to their reliance on porn. Research from the University of California, specifically studied by Dr. Nicole Pross and colleagues, has shown a correlation between heavy porn use and difficulties with sexual performances in real-life situations. This isn't just about physical malfunction. It's a profound psychological and emotional disconnect. The brain, accustomed to an extreme stimuli of porn, struggles to respond to the more nuanced and authentic calls of a real partner. It's a tragic irony. What promises ultimate sexual freedom ends up imprisoning man in a cycle of performance anxiety and isolation. And this reminds me of an ex-boyfriend. At the beginning of our relationship, he had erection issues. He couldn't get hard and he thought he was like broken or that his dick was small, but that wasn't true. During the relationship, he told me he was addicted to porn before and that he was still struggling with it. And for women, the impact is equally devastating, though often less discussed. Yeah, we know. Sexism, things that happen to women, they are not important. While men experience PIED, women often face a different kind of porn-induced sexual dysfunction, a profound sense of inadequacy, body shame, and a feeling that their natural desires and responses are somehow not enough. The unrealistic portrayals of female bodies, and now it's being worse with AI, right? This is not even human. The proportions of the bodies are They seem like monsters. And also the sexual behaviors they show in porn are again unrealistic. They can lead women to believe they must perform in certain ways or that their bodies must look a certain way to be desirable. This internal pressure can block authentic desire, leading to an inability to relax, to be present, and to experience pleasure. If you don't relax during sex, you're not going to have an orgasm. So if you have an orgasm issue and situation with women, yeah, porn is only helping it to become bigger. It's part of the issue. It's part of the problem. This is a silent epidemic of self-doubt and diminished erotic agency. The result is a generation of individuals, both women and men, who are increasingly disconnected from their own bodies, from each other, and from the profound joy of authentic intimacy. Let me ask you something. This conversation makes sense to you? Do you think is helping you to understand the porn industry, the relation with your lack of sexual power, and how can you overcome this? If you say yes, I'll ask you a favor, a small one. Help to increase this message. Help to expand this message. Share this episode with people you know. I know this theme is a taboo, but that's the reason why you must share it. People need to hear it. People need to get back their power, their erotic power. And also, please subscribe, hit the like button, and also comment here telling me what is happening to you. What did you realize about yourself and this industry, about what they are doing with people around you and with your own life? As I shared in the episode 6, the last one, my own body learned to associate pleasure with submission as a survival response from my childhood trauma. And this is not just my story. It's a pattern I see in countless clients. The body, in its intelligence to survive trauma, can transform that trauma into a distorted form of pleasure. This is a diminished pleasure, a small pleasure that conditions you into a small way of being, a small way of expressing yourself, a small way of orgasming. A systematic review in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence by Linz, Donnerstein, and Penrose found that consuming pornography, especially that depicting violence or female submission, is associated with increased acceptance of rape myths and sexist attitudes in men. This highlights how porn normalizes harmful dynamics, impacting real-world interactions and further entrenching patriarchal. And I know that when I talk about patriarchy, I talk about patriarchy all the time in a majority of the episodes because that's the system we live in. Actually, we live in the capitalist patriarchy. Yeah, we're in the capitalist phase of this system. And patriarchy, as I say always, is not the system where men control or subject women. It's the system where a very small elite controls, exploits, subjects, dominates nature. Nature means animals, trees, rocks, land, people, men, and women, especially those people who can bear a child, women. So there you can control life itself. And this is where the work of Bell Hooks becomes so crucial. In her book, Feminism is for Everybody, she writes about how patriarchy harms men as well, trapping them in rigid roles that deny their full humanity and emotional range. When men are taught to suppress empathy and connection and then exposed to porn that reinforces objectification, the result is a profound inability to engage in truly reciprocal sexual experiences. They are conditioned to seek a performance, not a connection. This creates a chasm between men and women, where both are left unfulfilled, and not only in a heterosexual experience. If you talk to a gay man, they usually have a lot of stories how toxic these relationships between them are because of the performance, not the connection. So this is the situation where people keep chasing a phantom pleasure that can never truly satisfy the soul or the body. The system we live in, the capitalist patriarchy, thrives on our disconnection. It wants us anxious, self-critical, and constantly seeking external validation. They profit from it. When we are disconnected from our bodies, from our authentic pleasure, we are easier to control, easier to manipulate into consuming more, working harder, and conforming to societal norms that do not serve, actually harm our deepest well-being. This is why reclaiming our pleasure is not just a personal act, it's a profound political one. To truly feel, to truly connect, to truly orgasm, this is a revolutionary act in a world that profits from our numbness. When we engage in authentic, embodied sexual experiences, our bodies release a symphony of powerful neurochemicals. Oxytocin, the love hormone that fosters connection and bonding. Dopamine, which fuels motivation and achievement. Endorphins, our natural painkillers. Serotonin, bringing feelings of well-being and relaxation. And prolactin, associated with satiety and post-orgasmic calm. This is the chemical cocktail of true pleasure, a profound experience that integrates body, mind, and soul. And this doesn't happen when you are watching porn. The hyper-stimulative and often dehumanizing nature of porn hijacks this natural system. It floods the brain with dopamine, creating a powerful, addictive loop, but without the accompanying release of oxytocin and serotonin. This leads to a dopamine deficit in real-life interactions, where the brain, accustomed to heavy stimuli, finds normal intimacy less rewarding. And we are being robbed of our natural capacity of profound integrated pleasure, leaving us chasing a fleeting, superficial high that ultimately leaves us feeling empty, disconnected, and sad. The solution, meu amor, meu amorzinho, delícia da minha vida. Did you understand? No. I said, my darling, my little darling, my deliciousness of life. The solution is to cultivate consciousness. Oh my God, consciousness again. You are being manipulated. You are being programmed as you were a robot or, no, artificial intelligence, but you're not. You're an animal. You're a human being. There's just one way of you getting free, of you breaking free. The way is consciousness. Always. I know. The way is to be fully present, to dismantle these traumas that keep us chained to artificial pleasure. This doesn't mean you need to fully understand every detail of your past trauma. No, it doesn't. And sometimes even like if you go into this path, you're not gonna overcome it. You're gonna know the story a lot, but you're not gonna learn how to feel it, how to embrace it. What you really need to do is make contact with that repressed energy, that damming of your will, your desire, that thing inside of you that you often don't express, that you fear because you're afraid it can turn you into a monster. This is not just mental. It's a combination between physical, energetic, mental, and corporeal. Feeling all of this in your body is fundamental. This journey of reclamation is about distinguishing between true pleasure and the reenactment of your trauma. Through conscious work, okay, Paula, so how do I do it? This is going to be the theme of our next episode. Stay tuned. For our home pleasure this week, a simple yet profound action. Engage your senses consciously. Choose one everyday activity like taking a shower, eating some fruit, listening to music, and dedicate 5 minutes to it. Just 5. Focusing entirely on the sensation. What do you see, smell, taste, hear? Feel without judgment, just observe. This practice helps you to dismantle the dissociation that porn fosters, bringing you back into your body and into the richness of real life sensory experience. It's a small step towards reclaiming your full spectrum of pleasure. If this episode resonated with you, if you recognize how porn might be killing your own erotic pleasure, know that you're not alone. There's a way out. This journey of reclaiming your body, your pleasure, your power is possible. And I'm here to guide you. I invite you to book a discovery session with me. It's a safe, confidential space where we can explore what is alive in your body and how you can begin your own path to authentic, revolutionary pleasure. The link to schedule is in this podcast description, and it's also in Brazilian Pleasure Diaries Instagram. This is just the beginning. And remember, this is the second part of our deep dive into porn. In the next episode, Porn, Reclaiming Your Real Pleasure, we will explore concrete, actionable steps to heal from the impact of porn and cultivating a truly fulfilling erotic life. Don't miss it. The last thing I need to tell you is about help. I need your help to subscribe the channel, to share this episode with people you know, to give a comment telling me what is happening to you if this share is valuable to you. Okay? See you soon. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep pulsing, keep living, keep revolutionizing. Direto do Brasil, beijo. Até a próxima. Tamo junto.